Hey, Todd Uzel here. I just wanted to talk about one of the biggest questions I get every day is how much can I afford? And in the mortgage business, what you can afford is all based on your income versus your debts and your credit, but your credit's more like the key into the separate programs. Like FHA, you have to have a 580 or better, really 640, but 580 is kind of the guideline. And then conventional, 680, 700. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about income versus debts. And in a market right now where we're dealing with like 5% interest rates, that's going to make a difference. Then it's a different conversation than when we were at 4% interest rates. So we'll give some examples and just kind of give you an idea of how much you can afford. So realistically, when you're thinking about your income, we can use your gross monthly income. And your gross monthly income, say you make 60,000. That means you make 5,000 bucks a month gross. So that's the number we start with. And if we can use 50% of that for all of your debts on your credit report, not like your phone bill, your insurance, but like car payment, credit card, student loan, child support, anything that comes out regularly that we know we have to count. Like I said, not your basics, but everything else. So say you got a $500 car payment, and we can use 50% of your $5,000 a month gross. That means we're starting with 2,500. So you take 2,500 minus 500. At least with $2,000 we could use for a house. Well, in a 5% interest rate market, $2,000 is going to buy you somewhere around a $300,000 house, assuming minimum down. This conversation is all about 3% or 3.5% down. So if you're putting 20% down, conversation changes. But just FYI, that's kind of how it works. So when you're thinking about how much you can afford, $300,000 house, making 60 grand, got a $500 car payment, probably work. If you want a $400,000 house, well, you're gonna need to make more, but your payment on a $400,000 house in this 5% market, it's probably 2,500 to 2,600 bucks a month. So that means you got to make double that plus whatever your bills are. So if you're in the $60,000 range, you're probably good for a $300,000 house with no HOA. And if you want a $400,000 house, you're probably gonna have to be closer to 72,000, $6,000 a month, right? Because now $6,000 a month, we can use half of that, which is $3,000. So you got your $500 car payment. Well, now that $3,000 is 2,500, and that's about what you're going to need to buy a $400,000 house, assuming standard property taxes in Arizona were like, I don't know, 600 bucks for every 100,000 you finance per year. So it varies, but these are all the pieces to the puzzle. And don't forget, when you're talking about your mortgage payment, you got your principal and interest, property taxes, mortgage insurance, and homeowners insurance. All those things make up your mortgage payment. Now, if you brought 20% down, you could nix mortgage insurance, and that's great. But, for everybody that's bringing the minimum down, this is kind of how to think about it. 50% of your gross monthly income, and just start taking away the debts that are on your credit report or that are just kind of happening every month. So that's the what can I afford basics. I hope it made sense. I'll put some stuff in the description so you can see it in the works, but that's what you can afford. Have a good day.